The help desk team will be presenting today. So you might have spoken to us before on the help desk, but we'll just introduce ourselves quickly. I'm Izzy and I work as a project officer for SNAP, which includes working on the help desk. Anita?
Hi everyone, I'm Anita, and same as Izzy, I'm also a project officer at SNAP.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm also one of the other project officers for SNAP.
Thanks, Alex. So these user group sessions will be held quarterly, and the recordings and the slides will be made available after the sessions on our website, and also we'll send them out via email. So please do put any questions that you have in the chat. Alex, are you able to go to the next slide?
Yeah.
Thank you. So just to note that in this session that any questions that you do put in the chat, we will not be discussing any clinical decision-making questions or queries that are specific to your team. If you do have any questions like that, then you can send them to the help desk. So I'll pass over to Anita now.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'll just be going over our general data lock-in reminders. The next deadline for inpatient teams will be on the 8th of August. This will be straight cases for admissions and discharges between April and June. The next ambulance deadline will be on the 22nd of August, so this will be for April 2023 admissions. So just a quick overview of the January to March result. So during the first quarter of 2023, there were 22,833 cases entered into SNAP by 174 teams, and also 12,021 six-month assessment follow-ups were completed. 774 thrombectomies were performed, and 11% of patients received thrombolysis. And to find out more about your team's results for January to March, you can look on our website on the results section.
Okay, so on the 19th of April, we hosted the National Clinical Guideline for Stroke launch, which was published on the web address in the top right-hand corner of the slide. And we just want to sort of preempt any questions here with this slide to note that about any changes that might happen to the SNAP dataset. Changes have not yet been made to the SNAP dataset, and SNAP is currently reviewing the dataset, and all teams will be informed of any changes with time to prepare, and we don't have any more information about the dataset changes at the moment. So then moving on to the main theme of this meeting, updates for community teams, as there have been a few changes recently. Firstly, that the community team reporting periods, Alex, are you able to go to the next slide? Sorry. Yep. The community team reporting periods have now been aligned with the financial year. So this will simplify the reporting process for community teams and reduce the number of times that community teams will be required to meet a data locking deadline each year. And then following that, following a general movement towards more integrated care services, teams can now register on SNAP as a combined ESD CRT for the clinical audit. So here we have the team type definitions, and for the new combined ESD CRT functions, both the ESD definition there and the CRT definition would apply.
Okay, so for acute teams, so as an acute team, you were also involved in how SNAP captured which patients access which community team type through questions 7.7 and 7.8. So questions 7.7 and 7.8 would ask acute teams to select whether they would have discharged a patient to a standalone ESD team or a standalone CRT team. And it's also very important that the acute team selects both if the patient is being discharged to a combined ESD CRT team. This is because answering this question correctly will be important to allow accurate reporting of which patients were discharged to a combined ESD CRT team. Yeah, and we've had on the help desk, we've had quite a lot of questions on if the reports will change for community teams, and so our outputs are not expected to change significantly, as the data set is going to be updated following the new guideline. However, teams will now appear alongside other ESD CLT teams on the portfolio and regional slideshow. So on this slide, it just shows how the data will be reported. So all ISDN slides will be grouped and colored according to the team types. So on the right, there's just a screenshot of what it would look like. It still has the team names. It's just they're just separated by the colors. So before this user group session, we asked everyone that registered to send us some questions, and we did get quite a lot of questions, and we tried to cover as much as possible. We also, if in case you didn't see your question here, we did have to reject some as they were quite team and case specific. But if we're unable to cover your question, if you feel like we didn't sort of go into detail, as much detail as you expected, you can always email the help desk.
Yeah, so there are valuable resources that will greatly support your data entry and analysis process within Snap. Firstly, we have the new user guides. These are offering comprehensive guidance on how teams, including inpatient, non-inpatient, and 6-month assessment providers, can effectively use the web tool to enter data and transfer records. These guides also provide essential information on Snap reports, analysis tools, and additional user resources and support. Leveraging these guides will help ensure seamless and accurate data entry, empowering you to make informed decisions and improvements to your stroke care services. Furthermore, we have a simplified technical guidance document that explains how each of the key indicators is calculated. This document is designed to enhance your understanding of how these key indicators are derived, providing valuable insights into your performance areas and opportunities for improvement. Lastly, the search bar will simplify your navigation through Snap Zendesk. This feature allows for quicker access to specific data and information, making it even easier to find what you need. I encourage each team member to explore these resources and utilize them to their fullest potential. Should you have any questions or require assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out to our Snap support team. In this slide, I would like to highlight some powerful Snap tools that can significantly contribute to the quality improvement efforts. Firstly, we have the DO analysis tool, which provides in-depth Snap data analysis for case mix and key acute measures within your reporting. With this web tool, you can easily export your data at regular intervals, enabling you to investigate patient characteristics, care processes, and outcomes after stroke. The DOI analysis tool presents summary tables of key measures and patient-level data, color-coded and organized by key indicators. It covers both acute and post-acute measures, offering a holistic view of the stroke care. Using the DOI analysis tool, you can effectively identify areas where standards are not met, review Snap data between reporting periods and over specific timeframes, and you can continuously evaluate your clinical care provision. The tool also helps you highlighting anomalous patient cases and improve data quality, supporting your local auditing efforts. In addition to the DOI analysis tool, we also have the online indicators tool, which provides real-time insights into your data. This feedback and review mechanism allows you to identify trends in performance and quickly spot patients who have not achieved specific acute care processes. The minute-by-minute feedback on key indicators of care quality with color-coded boxes for each patient instantly flags any quality improvement concerns. Moreover, the tool enables you to drill down the access and access more detailed information about each key indicator. By utilizing the online indicators tool, you can track patient care and quality improvement concerns in real time, encouraging regular review of patient data and prospective real-time data entry. This tool significantly supports data validation and ensures your care delivery remains of the highest standard. We also have the therapy intensity calculator, which simplifies data collection for section 4 therapy intensity, making it ready for input into the SNAP web tool. It basically mirrors the web tool questions, but please enter the information carefully, as the web tool has sophisticated validation that this calculator cannot fully replicate. Instructions can be accessed in the intro tab of the therapy intensity calculator. Again, if you have any questions, you can reach out for SNAP Helpdesk for assistance. We understand the importance of providing comprehensive support to your teams. That's why we have equipped each question in the dataset with helpful guide answers, making it easier for you to navigate and input data accurately. To access this resource, you simply click the H button within the web tool, bringing up the relevant help notes for each specific question. This feature ensures that you have the necessary information at your fingertips, facilitating smoother data entry and reducing the chances of errors. Moreover, we acknowledge the significance of effective communication within your team. That's why we've included the C button, allowing you to add internal comments directly in the web tool. These comments remain confidential and will not be visible to external parties, providing a secure and effective way for your team to collaborate and share insights. You can therefore streamline your data entry process, enhance communication, and drive continuous improvement in stroke care quality. Lastly, I will also present a summary of SNAP scoring. The central part of SNAP scoring are the key indicators. These are either a proportion or a percentage of different indicators for the patient care. A key indicator is calculated by dividing the number of patients who achieve the indicator, which is a numerator, by the number of applicable patients, which is a denominator. Some patients are excluded from an indicator in some cases. Key indicators are then used for domain gradings. These domains are team-centered and patient-centered. To obtain SNAP scores, certain steps are needed. The first one is to calculate domain scores. They usually are the average percentage of key indicators within the domain. However, sometimes scores are based on the performance of the key indicator rather than having an average. Then we combine domain scores into the total key indicator. The total key indicator score is calculated by adding together all the domain points and dividing by the number of applicable domains. The score is calculated for team-centered and patient-centered domains. We then obtain the combined total key indicator by averaging the patient-centered and team-centered total key indicator score. The size of the adjustment varies depending on how low the case assignment or how the compliance is in these cases. Then we use similarly, we calculate the patient-centered and team-centered SNAP scores, except the specific total key indicator score are used rather than the combined total key indicator score. In total, there are 10 SNAP domains. The grade bands range from A, which is the best, to E. In the slide, you can see an example of how domain 8 scores are given, and based on these scores, how grades are assigned. And as a side note, for this domain 8, it also applies to non-routinely admitting teams. So I basically just offered a brief description of the SNAP grading. For a more detailed description of the algorithms behind each domain scoring, please do consult the SNAP resources outlined which will also be available in the slide notes here.
Okay, so now we're going to go through some of the questions that we received before the meeting about entering therapy data or rehabilitation data. So our first question was, should group therapy be added to SNAP? And our answer is yes. Group therapy does count as therapy minutes. So there's quite a lot of information on that slide, and the slides will be circulated after the meeting, but the takeaway from that slide is that group therapy should be added to SNAP. The next question was about two therapists treating the same patient at the same time. So for this one, it's best to think about in terms of the goals that the patient was working towards in that session. So if two physiotherapists are treating a patient, and this is working towards physiotherapist goals, so it counts as 45 minutes of physiotherapy. If a physiotherapist and an OT are treating the patient and both are working towards their respective professions goals, then that's 45 minutes of physio and 45 minutes of OT. And then if a therapy assistant works on two different therapies during a 45-minute session, so like 25 minutes of physio, 20 minutes of OT, then the times can be split to 25 minutes of physio and 25 minutes of OT. And again, these slides will be made available after the session. The final question that we received about entering therapy data was about rehab assistant time. So question 4.6 asks for the total number of therapy minutes, so provided by qualified and also non-registered therapy assistants, including rehab assistants. So that's all the therapy that was provided. And then 4.6.1 asks how many of the total therapy minutes were given by rehab assistants. So 4.6.1 is the proportion of 4.6 provided by rehab assistants. Okay, so now I promised to look through the chat and answer some of your questions, and just a